This entire design is built inside the dual form. No filing at Island. Getting it this clean under the cuticle almost feels impossible. For this set, I used the Salon Square dual forms, along with the newer version from Emenka. As you can see, it has a square shape with a medium curve and a soft, gradual apex. It works really well for standard, straight nails, but if the nails have a strong curve or grow downward, it's not the best option. Just like in my previous videos, I'm choosing the correct size. Like always, the first thing I do is mark my guide points. I'm marking the growth points, the natural free edge, and the length I want. We're going to use these silicone inserts, but I'm going to make a few adjustments first. I'm shaping it into a rectangle about 1/2 centimeter wide, and the length just depends on how long you want your set. You can actually find these silicone inserts in all kinds of shapes: hearts, geometric designs, stars, and more ready-made on Amazon. But you know me. If I can make it myself, I'm not paying for it. Take a look here. I'm placing the silicone right in this area. To make sure it sits perfectly centered, I'm using the center line on the form as my guide. Now I'm placing the silicone inside the form, so I'll need some builder gel. I'm applying a thin layer right in the center of the form, exactly where the silicone will sit. While the gel is still wet, I place the silicone into the form and press it down with a tool so it stays in place. Once I'm sure everything is positioned correctly and perfectly centered, I flash cure it for about 5 seconds. Quick tip: if you see bubbles under the silicone, that's totally fine. But around the edges, you don't want any bubbles. Alright, just like always, I start by covering the sidewalls up to the growth points we marked with a thin layer of gel. Then I flash cure it for about 5 seconds. Now I'm picking up a bit more gel and only filling the free edge area, the part 1 marked with the marker. Before curing, make sure the sidewalls are fully covered. Once everything looks good, flash cure it for about 7 to 8 seconds. Now I'm picking up a bit more gel and filling in the rest, leaving about 1 millimeter near the cuticle area empty. You don't need to completely fill the form all the way to the top. I place the form onto the nail at the correct angle, then flash cure just the cuticle area and the nail bed for about 5 seconds. Then I flip the hand over, check the underside, remove any excess gel, and cure it fully for 60 seconds. I swear, removing the form is always my favorite part. As you can see, the silicone comes off super easily. Look at that, such a clean, beautiful frame on the nail. And don't throw this silicone away. You can easily peel the gel off, clean it with cleanser, and reuse it. Alright, let's go ahead and fill this frame with these gorgeous dried flowers. All you need to do is start with a thin layer of base gel inside the frame we created. Then, while it's still wet, place the dried flowers one by one. Then cure it for 30 seconds. Now it's time to seal the frame with a top coat. Don't use the top coat brush fuel. Need a detail brush like this instead. Apply the top coat carefully, but work quickly. Try to stay within the frame. It's not a big deal if you go outside, but it's best to keep it just on the frame. Before curing, flip the hand over and give it 1 or 2 light taps. Cure it for 60 seconds. Lightly buff the surface with a medium bright buffer. Before refining the free edge and sidewalls with a file, I go in with a top coat. First, it gives me a much sharper, more precise finish. Cure it fully for 60 seconds. Let it cool for a bit, then go in with a hand file or an e-file to shorten and refine the free edge to your desired length. I used a Pato Discets, just easier for me. With a thin hand file, you can easily clean up the sidewalls too. Just don't rush, otherwise you might mess up the top coat on the surface. Before you start filing, clean the underside with cleanser so it doesn't stick to your bit. Clean up the underside a bit as well, and thin out the free edge to about 0.5 to 1 millimeter. Take your time, don't rush this part. If you have the time and patience, I definitely recommend applying a thin layer of matte top coat underneath. It makes the final result look so much cleaner. And this is the final result, everything done inside the dual form, with no filing. Once you get the placement right, the finish comes out this clean every time.